It is the Riot. Right now, you can't see it, but Nikki's cat is drinking out of the fishbowl.
Eric just sent me a text message, and I think my cat has realized I have a fish tank with one fish in it, and it's on the counter in the kitchen, and I don't put the top on it because then it used to get like condensation or like it was harder to feed the fish, so I just took the lid off. I don't think my cat noticed it until maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, and now the cat's aware, and so the cat's just drinking water out of the fish tank, even though there's water for the cat where the cat's food is. That's not good enough anymore.
Okay, Nikki, do you understand that? You know how like you go to a restaurant and they have like, you know, the like lemon and cucumber and cranberry and all stuff, you get the water?
This is?
He's getting fish-flavored water.
It's so gross.
It's very refreshing to him.
I yell at my cat, and I try to communicate to him like he understands me, and I tell him stop doing it. But it's not even like when you train a dog and like the dog learns no and learns not to do it. The cat just looks at me and is like, we're going to still do this. There's nothing you can do about it besides putting the lid back on, which I don't want to.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I think your cat's just like, whose house do you think this is?
I'm sorry. I actually really don't fear for the fish's life. I don't think he's never been motivated. So, and he only likes the one food that has gravy on it. Because remember, he licks the gravy off the food and then leaves the food. He's not going to do this with the water. The fish can just be at the bottom.
You're missing it. What he's going to do is he's going to pull the fish out,
put it in the gravy,
lick the water off of it, and then put it back in. And then that fish is going to be traumatized beyond words because he'll never eat the fish, but he's just going to keep licking the fish.
I thought this fish was going to be easy, and I don't mind the fish. In fact, it comes when you walk. Like it's more intelligent than I thought it would be, but I am kind of tired of the care of the fish.
What are you doing for this thing?
You have
Are
to
you
clean
walking
its tank and stuff, and it's a lot. You have to feed it 3 times, and I'm just tired.
You're feeding the fish 3 times a day?
3 times a day.
Feed it 6 times a day, and the problem goes away.
No, you're supposed to tiny feed it 3 times a day or whenever it comes up to the corner when it's hungry, basically. He knows to come up to the corner, and then you just feed him a little bit of his fish food. But I already have enough pets. I didn't want any more pets. We just happened to get this fish. So do I mind? If something happens, I think I'd feel bad, but I don't know at this point. I don't know. I'm at my limit with everything.
If something were to happen,
I'd be
this
sad.
Fish, I mean,
but I wouldn't get a replacement, is what I'm saying. I'd be done with it. In fact, I kept looking online to see how long this fish is going to live.
Oh, it's going to outlive all of you.
Watch it, right?
It's 100 years.
I know. The other day it was sleeping like at the bottom and not really moving around. I thought, are you dead? And no, it's not. It's still around, so that's fine.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's what's going on. What are you guys doing? What's up with everybody else? Oh, you just want to hear the podcast? Okay. We'll let you hear the podcast.
We're doing a podcast. Okay. Today in the podcast, Nikki, you're going to get a chance to hear about Halo Infinite.
Yep.
IKEA, Blockbuster, Great White Sharks, Taylor Swift, Golden Girls, Quitting Soda, Utah buffets, Pac-Man Monopoly, brakes and underwear. And it's...
That's not the same story.
You know what's funny about that is that, like, we started in one place and it ended up, that went on for like 25 minutes.
I know. I don't know. It's Friday, guys. We were just talking to talk. It's fine.
Splinter Cell cartoons and Transformers.
Yep.
And Sugar Rush.
There it is. So I'm off to go watch Sugar Rush.
All right. That's wonderful.
Enjoy the weekend. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoy today.
Bye.
Bye.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Finally Friday.
Oh, Nikki, it's Friday.
Are we ready?
I'm so ready for Friday.
I think everybody is. We're excited to finally be here.
Yes, indeed. So what are your plans? You're going to...
last weekend was big. I went berry picking. Like, how do you top that? I might have to have a rest weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah. My plans include I'm going to a birthday party.
Yeah.
Small.
Sure.
No big deal. And then I'm going to, yesterday I noticed my car was like whoop, whoop, whoop. And I was like, oh, I think I have a flat tire. I didn't have a flat tire. I had a tire bulge.
What does that mean?
It means if you ever looked at your tire and everything's fine, and then it looks like a balloon that's like there's this big...
Do you have too much air?
Chunk.
Is that possible?
It means the interior of the tire has failed, basically. Like your tire has a structure inside it. And if you see a bulge like that, that structure is gone. And that tire is, at this point, basically worthless.
So you need a new one?
So I went and got tires, and they were like, hey...
you can't just get one. You normally have to go and you got to get all four.
You can buy one, but I bought two because the idea is... Typically, two is better than one, though you can buy one tire. But I did go ahead and just buy two. And I'll say, to the place I went, kudos to them. The guy was like, I said, I'm just going to do two. And he was like, well, here's the deal. If you're going to buy four, I'd recommend this. But if you're going to buy two, I recommend this.
Yeah.
And I thought, didn't upsell. Just let me know it was available. I appreciated that.
We like that approach.
They also came back and they were like, yeah, your brake pads on the back are like trashed. Like you've got to fix your brake pads. But again, shocking me, they didn't offer to do it. They just let me know. And I was like, okay. So that means that this weekend
you get to do that.
I'll be putting brake pads on my car.
My goodness.
It's so much. It is astronomically cheaper to do it yourself if you know how.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It really isn't hard. You just want to do it right.
Well, I just want to preface, if you're like, oh, I need to do that too. Obi said it's not hard. Just be prepared. So.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to be like, Obi said it was easy. Because then Obi's going to have to come and do it for you.
I mean, what I'm saying is, like, you need a jack, like, you need some tools, and you need some time. But compared to, I don't know, pulling the engine out and replacing the something, no.
It's on the scale of car maintenance, it's easier than some of the other stuff.
Yes. Actually, you know what, Nikki? That's a good way to say it. This is not a repair. This is maintenance. Mm-hmm. And maintenance and repair are different.
Gosh, you're going to have a fun weekend, aren't you? Sounds like it.
You know what? I'm excited. I spent some time just to make sure. I watched a YouTube video to refresh my memory last night.
Yeah, but you've done it before.
Oh, yeah. It's been 5 years.
It's like riding a bike. I'm sure you won't forget.
It's like changing the brakes. You never forget.
It's just every 5 years you have to do it.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, Internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Feel free, if you'd like, to give us a text. You know, Nikki and I are here like Angela did. Angela sent us a link to the last Blockbuster, which you guys know that...
We're familiar with the one in Oregon.
Yeah, it's kind of near and dear to our heart, even though...
We've never been.
I still haven't been.
Obi almost. He was so close to it, but he didn't make it. But the issue is it's been in the news with COVID stuff. It is now heavily relying on merchandise to help stay open. Otherwise, it has to close, too.
So
And it's the last one.
That's it. This is the end. Now, their website is... Wait, where did it go? Blockbuster.com.
And then they have like a shop part.
Bend, like B-E-N-D, because that is the name of the city that it is in Oregon.
Did you see this stuff? I'm like, do they get licensing since they're a Blockbuster, technically? Do they still have that?
Well, you know, I think there's that. I also think that... there's nobody around.
Oh, to enforce it.
To say you can't do that.
You can get a membership card for like $2. You can get, there's pins, there's stickers, there's sweatpants, there's all that stuff.
There's part of me that likes the idea of getting a membership card and just finding a place to put it.
You need to leave it in your wallet, like the main spot instead of your driver's license.
I thought about that, but I don't like that as much. But if I got one, Nikki, and put it on like I've got framed posters in my basement.
Yeah, put it there.
What if I put it on one of the posters? You know, something like that, and then that would be cool.
We could get a T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you, I like the sweatpants.
You do? Do you like this one? Would you ever wear those?
Hanging out in Blockbuster sweatpants, I feel like sends a message.
Seems about right.
You could never say it out loud. It communicates something. The idea of like, it's Saturday and I'm walking around in Blockbuster sweatpants.
Yeah.
Dude, there's something there.
So again, it's stayed around. It's the last Blockbuster. But I think with COVID, that's really hit it hard. Because people would just go there to like say they've been there.
Yeah.
And so they would
It's
have
an
a lot of
Instagram spot.
Yeah, they would have a lot of merchandise bought that way.
Yeah.
But now, without the lack of people going in, they need to rely on a more
Online approach
to their merchandise that they were selling there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? It's nice. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to. I already know I'm not.
But if you were, you would buy something.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
IKEA, Nikki.
Yeah.
IKEA, where you go and they give you furniture that's not assembled and they expect you to assemble it like that's normal.
And you hate them for it, you still go.
It's the new normal. You put in those you got to drive in the wooden pegs and then you stick them together and then you put in those little things that are like the metal pegs that go in the round things and you turn them and it locks them in place. And you do that over and over again, only to discover that you put the shelf in backwards
you gotta
or
undo
upside
it all.
down.
You got to undo it all or be okay with how you've done it. Just be fine with it.
And either way, you begin saying things you might regret later.
People break up over those furniture pieces.
But you know what? It's part of the experience.
It is. And I don't know if that's why it's so cheap or is that why it's actually, is that a part of the cost? You just don't know.
It's part of the cost.
It's built in.
Mm-hmm. So, are they open?
They are. They've been open. I went when they opened the day after, at least for our area.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're back. I don't think the food thing's still open, or at least when I was there, it wasn't.
Okay. So, you're telling me that right now, if I had a sudden need for a full movie-size poster frame,
you can go, yes.
They would be open and I could go in and purchase that.
Sure.
Okay. All right. That's what I needed to know. Thank you.
That's all you needed to know?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be deeper than that.
Well, I mean, we can go deeper.
We don't need to, but...
Okay, thanks for asking. You know what? I purchased, Nikki, there is among the Mystery Science Theater 3,000 episodes on Netflix, my favorite one is a movie called Avalanche.
Uh-huh.
Mia Farrow, Rock Hudson, two potential superstars of the 60s and 70s who were reaching the end of their career arcs.
I see.
Starring in a very low-budget disaster film. I love it.
And it's called Avalanche?
I've watched it over and over again.
Did you buy the movie poster?
Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
Yes, I did.
Was it a Mystery Science Theater movie poster with it, or just the Avalanche movie poster?
It is the Avalanche movie poster, and here's what I love about it. I ordered it on Amazon just expecting it to be a recreation. It is an original, hung in a theater Avalanche poster from the late 70s.
May we ask how much was that?
It was $10.
$10? And it's the one that was in a theater?
If you've ever seen, sometimes promotional materials, they'll be marked, stamped on the back and all that stuff.
So no one wanted this thing.
Oh, nobody wants it.
Except you did.
I am so excited about it.
So now you need I
need a frame for it.
Yeah, you can just go over there.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to frame my Avalanche poster, and it's going to be
you're going to hang it up. Which means it won't just be $10. Add the cost of the frame, which they're cheap there.
I think the frame for a full-size 27 by 40 movie poster there is $25.
Well, then you're in.
And to be clear, if that sounds like a lot of money to you, it's not. Because if I will say, as much as I'm not necessarily an IKEA fan, their frames are wonderful.
Yeah,
for what
they're
you pay for them.
inexpensive.
Yeah, it's a nice frame at a reasonable price.
Good. Well, you got to
for my Avalanche movie poster.
Oh my gosh, you got to protect the poster at all costs.
What's worse than the worst of the Riot? The Worst of the Riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
So, Halo Infinite's supposed to come out this November-ish, probably. You guys have heard about that? It's the new Halo game. Well, there was a little bit of a leak yesterday, Nikki. What's it called? Wait, where did it go? It's the Smith's Toys Superstores, which, if I understand it, is an Irish retailer. So,
a physical store?
Who wants to go to Ireland for Smith's Toys?
Were they selling it already?
No.
I was going to say.
What they did was they had an info page that wasn't supposed to go up yet.
Sure.
And then it did.
Whoops.
And the whole internet was like, that's what I don't understand. It must be that you've got a Google search, or what do they call it, a Google alert or something set up, because How the heck does it go live in Ireland for 5 minutes and then after 10 minutes, everyone knows about it?
All it takes is a fan of Halo in Ireland putting it on a couple of forums, and then it spreads.
And then it's everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't take too much.
So, word on the street is Halo Infinite, if you want to buy the whole thing, you have to buy it, right? Or you get Xbox Game Pass and it's thrown in. But according to this, it's multiplayer mode, which is the big draw for a lot of people. Free to play.
Ooh.
Or as I call
that was on the
Fortnite model.
That was on the released news thing.
Free to play, and the other one was that it's going to run, the multiplayer mode will run at 120 frames per second. That's a big deal because it is. Actually, well, there's a lot of reasons why. Do you want the nerdy reasons why, or you just want to leave it at that?
No, I understand why it is.
Okay, so it's a fairly big deal if you have a TV or monitor that supports it.
So do you think the store gets in trouble?
I don't know how that works.
Like, what do they do? Was it actually an accident? Was it, now we've heard of this company in Ireland that we've never heard of before?
They always threaten them with things like, we just won't let you sell our product anymore.
Sure.
But these days, I don't know. I'll say this, that I worked for a record/movie store, right? So we had a movie that came out, and it was coming out on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And so one of my managers, when the store closed on Monday night, so that would have been at 10, and as we were wrapping up, he bought it at 11, and he got called into the store the next morning for a meeting. That sale triggered something.
Because it shows that it's sold through the system. Yep. Even the manager couldn't do that.
Right. So I don't know. He didn't get in trouble. He didn't disappear.
He should have just taken it and then just put it through through the thing the next day.
I know. I actually thought the same thing, but kudos for him for actually paying for it instead of stealing it.
Impressive.
So.
No, he wouldn't have been stealing it because he would have paid the following day.
I know.
So if you're a Halo fan, then there is some news then.
I'm interested. I've been going back through the Halo games. I played through 3. I played through 4. And I'm about halfway through 5, and I don't like it at all.
You gonna go the next one?
I actually am stopping. I'm going back to Halo Reach, and then I think I might be done for a while. I know you're all riveted.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Australia is full of things that will kill you, both on the island and in the water. That's just the whole thing. It's bad.
It doesn't seem like you just see a spider. It's like you'll see, it's just a giant spider that's poisonous or something.
Right.
Everything's to the extreme.
It's like the entire world found scary things, flushed them down the toilet, and
they're there.
They went clockwise down to Australia. Now, they're running counterclockwise down there, but they can't see them to get them to go back up the pipe. It's crazy. Western Australia, great white shark.
Yeah.
Okay. This thing was, let's say, somewhere around 15 feet long, they say. And this surfer down there, shark, bit him. I don't think it ended up actually biting him, but it took a huge bite out of his surfboard. The photos are insane. And here's the part that I don't understand. And I mean this. That guy's going back surfing.
Oh, yeah. He's going back in the water.
Yeah.
That's his passion.
How do you do that?
It's like, you going back to the game. You just go back in.
It's not. Because here's the thing. I have never nearly died painfully and horrifically while playing a game.
Well, do you think
my
that,
avatar has,
but not
the
you.
Little person I control, sure.
Do you think, though, that the chances would be so slim for it to happen to him again that he actually is safer?
No, because they would have...
Because it's like, winning the lottery twice.
I know.
But in a bad way.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like you've shown that you are lucky. And you're probably primed to be lucky again.
But you don't push it? You don't push your luck?
Yeah, you have managed to... Well, I was thinking the other way. The shark attack was him being lucky, but you're saying him living was lucky. Both are true.
Yeah, they are.
So I just don't want to get... I don't want to go back. I couldn't. I couldn't.
So you would never go in the ocean again?
I'm already there,
You
practically.
don't even want to go in the first place.
No, here's what I don't understand. What I genuinely don't get. Does that guy, the surfer guy who has faced down a great white shark, does he must possess something I don't have? Because for me, I'm just like, bro, never again. And I don't know if it's because like I had a couple of pretty horrific injuries when I was a kid, like very painful, et cetera, et cetera. And so I developed this sense of I would size things up differently than my peers because they'd be like, let's do it. And I'm like, nah.
No, because you didn't want to have to go through pain again.
I don't want to.
But if you love surfing so much and that's what makes him happy, then that's a risk they always take.
See, again.
And he faced the biggest part of that risk, and he was lucky, and he didn't get injured. So is he lucky enough to keep going?
I don't have whatever he has.
He's going to try it.
He has something I don't have, Bodie.
We're not surfers, but anytime you talk to someone who does surf, like it is passionate about it, and they wouldn't give it up.
They have something I don't have. I want to have it. I want to be like that.
Do you want for surfing, you want like a sport like that or something?
I want
something you love enough?
I want to be brave, Nikki.
You want to be brave? You want to get back in the water?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm out of the water.
You haven't even faced a shark, and you don't even want to go in the first place.
Man, I get in a kiddie pool in the backyard, and I'm like, do you think a shark could get in here?
What if? I know it doesn't seem like it, but what if? It seems ridiculous.
But what if there was some sort of I don't know, like dimensional hole that it found at the bottom of an ocean and then it somehow managed to swim out in here because water is somehow connected in a way we don't understand across the whole surface of the planet.
You're nervous in pools.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, Becky put out a new album this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, new stuff from Taylor Swift. Or was it last week? It was like a midnight. I think it was a midnight release last Thursday.
Maybe.
I think that's what it was. And boy, I didn't know this about Taylor Swift fans. Apparently, they really like her.
Well, they're passionate. Remember the surfer we talked about being passionate about getting back in the water?
Mm-hmm.
That same passion.
So
I think their fans are known for.
So Jillian Mapes is she's a senior editor at Pitchfork. She reviewed Taylor Swift's new album. She gave it an 8 out of 10.
Which feels like a pretty good review. Like if you were getting your test back.
Yeah.
And it was 8 out of 10. That's pretty good.
It depends. I'd be a little upset. I need a 9 out of 10.
Oh, you need 9? Well, I think 8 is better than probably what most groups are getting.
But I would just, exactly, this is different. It's not a test that you can study for. There's no right answer, quote unquote. Yeah. So I could accept an 8.
But fans got a hold or caught wind of the review of the project and the fact that it was only an 8 out of 10.
So they put this music critic's address and phone number out on the internet.
And?
Threatening to burn down her house.
Gosh, she must be so scared.
Well, okay, what?
Why?
Who cares?
You said that happens a lot in the gaming world.
It absolutely does.
It became popular in the political world when you'd find out who voted for something or if someone's a police officer. There's some danger to posting and promoting someone's personal information to go and hurt them.
That's insane.
And it's something that they do now.
What I don't understand, meaning that I quote unquote get it, but it just seems like a leap too far for me, is why do I care so much about what you think?
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Somebody doesn't like the thing I don't like. What? Who cares? That just goes to show you how smart you are and how dumb they are, because if they got it, then they would be enlightened like you are.
So isn't the gaming stuff, is it swatting or is it just along those lines?
Swatting is a little more like
the cops come to your place.
Right. What happens with the whole game score thing is I don't know that places do it anymore, but there was a time there where game companies were tying bonuses for developers up in review scores.
So if they got enough good scores, they would get bonuses?
And if they didn't, they wouldn't.
So fans.
So what would happen is, let's say, in a lot of cases, Metacritic, which is that website that is kind of an aggregate of review scores, if they would get a Metacritic score above 90, then they would get bonuses. Well, a couple of bad reviews takes that Metacritic score way down, pulls it into the 80s, and all of a sudden, all of these people have lost out on a bunch of money because of your bad review. And that, obviously, that's unfair to the game developers and the reviewers.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
well, they feel bad.
I should be able to say I don't like something without it costing someone else money when it comes to bonuses. But in the case of Taylor Swift, I don't think that's a thing.
So the fans, they've been threatening to burn the critic's house down.
Why? Like, why? Burn down?
No one knows.
Okay, all right.
No
Burn
one knows
down your
why
own
that
house because you're so mad.
No one's offering that.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
This is not going to come as any kind of a shock to anybody, but, you know, the internet makes it hard to know what's going on in the real world because I'll just tell you, in my real life, day-to-day existence, nobody's talking about Golden Girls.
No one?
No one.
But
no
if you go online.
But wait, yeah, exactly. As soon as I go online, everybody's like, man, Golden Girls is the stuff. I love it. I can't wait to watch more Gold. And there keeps being Golden Girls related news. This is a sitcom from I don't even know when about 4 old women living together in Florida. Where are we even watching it?
I don't know. It just it stays in the news.
How?
It just does. It just became a show that people will. It's like Friends, but just not.
I just want to know: are people actually talking about it? Or do people like talking about it? Meaning
I think when there's...
Wait, let me rephrase that. Are people actually watching it, or are they just talking about it?
No, I think they do, and I think it becomes a like a merchandise, or the house went for sale. That was the front of the house, so like it pops back up when there's something related to it.
All right, well, here you go, Nikki. The people at Cakeworthy have launched a Golden Girls clothing line.
I see it. That is something.
There you go.
There's some shirts. Is that a romper?
It's a romper.
there's a jacket. There's lots of styles. Mm-hmm. It's basically like a pastel sort of look, and it's got a lot of the faces from the characters, the actresses from the show.
It does have the faces. You could have their faces on. You got the logo for sure.
That's something. So I want to know, how expensive are they? They start going for sale on the 7th of August.
So they're not for sale yet.
No, but I'm curious about the price. Like, how much is a normal romper in the world, and then how much is like a Golden Girls one?
Well, you know what? I've never shopped this website before, but apparently they do brands. They have a Disney collection, Looney Tunes, a Star Wars collection. Let's take a look here. Here's the lookbook. But okay, it doesn't have a price on it. Cakeworthy, it's taken a while.
Well, everybody's there.
Yeah,
so it says cheers to 35 years. So is this like the 35th anniversary of Golden Girls?
Sure it is.
Sure, you'll just go with that?
I'll tell you what. Here's a Pinocchio suspender skirt, $35. So
I don't know.
I mean, like it could be worse. You could be paying that for it. You know what we need to know, though? Like, let's look at their sweaters and hoodies.
Yeah, if you find us a T-shirt or a hoodie, that'll tell us.
It looks like all of their sweatshirts and hoodies are sold out.
Yeah.
$45.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay. It looks like most of their T-shirts are $30.
We've seen plenty of far more expensive ones.
Seen worse, but
yeah, that's not bad.
I don't like their shirts.
You don't want that?
I don't want that.
Well, you know what? You don't have to.
Okay.
Listen, plenty other people are going to buy it. So you don't have to be one to buy it.
Here we go. Do me a favor. If you or someone you know watches The Golden Girls, I want you to text 877-2-RADIO-U. And don't tell me about how you used to. I'm talking about right now.
And are they interested?
You watch it. And someone you know watches it.
Andy said his wife loves watching Golden Girls.
Okay. All right. Let's set an age limit on this.
You want to be like sad about it, but like maybe it feels nice if you're not near your mom or like your grandmother, especially your grandparents.
What? Like it's a
like
comfort,
it feels,
it's comfort food?
Like you have an older influence around you from the show, maybe.
So Friends for when you miss 20-somethings and Golden Girls for when you miss...
Yeah, like your grandma. Boy, and like her sassy ways.
It did just get sad in here.
I know, doesn't it? but maybe.
Let's wrap on that.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know what, Nikki, why don't you take it away?
You want me to tell you about this guy?
Yeah, just take it away.
And not just because you took a lot of soda right there.
Nikki, I'm just going to be over here sipping a fizzy drink.
While I tell you this story,
you let me know about this man.
I actually like when people like this become viral because this is all innocent and just someone really trying to improve their life.
Yeah.
And they turn to, in this case, TikTok to try to get support for it. So I was reading a story about Rohit, I think is his name. He lives in Australia.
Okay.
And he has talked about his, what he calls his demon of fizzy drinks. So basically he drinks a lot of soda. He would say 2 sodas a day, which for some of us doesn't seem like but let's say that's a lot for him.
He is a sweet kid.
He could do so much more than that. So he would have 2 fizzy drinks a day. He would turn to them for comfort when he was unhappy. So he said he became super addicted to them. Even though to us it's not a fizzy drink, he'd still count Red Bulls. He said he could drink one in 4 seconds flat.
That's kind of impressive.
He would drink a lot of sugary drinks every day. So he went to TikTok. He'd already been there for a little bit, but he just made a post one day, and he wanted people to help support him as he tries to go as many days as possible without fizzy drinks. Mm-hmm. So I think he's currently at like day 54 was his last post. Yeah. But it's cute. Every time he posts, he always starts, "Hello, everyone. No fizzy drinks for me today." And then he gives like a little update.
His update.
People have really kind of fallen in love with him.
I did, therefore, 30 or 40 days, I did a daily update on where I was with soda because I gave it up, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. And everybody's like, "You're going to feel so much better." And like, I did, I guess.
Well, it just leaves room for something else to not make you feel happy. So.
Yeah. So, I mean,
something else will move in.
Everybody was like, I'll just say that I did this. For 3 months, I did the non-inflammation diet, whatever. Mm-hmm. I definitely lost some weight, but I also got, after a while, really sick. And I never stopped until I ate a Twinkie. I just kept being sick all the time.
It didn't really work. You were fine for 30 days, but then it was weird. After that, it just all went downhill.
Things started to fall apart.
You need your fizzy drinks.
Well, what was funny was I found a lot of people online that had similar experiences, and we're back on me. Can we stop?
What about
Let's
this guy?
Let's stay focused on this dude. He's 50 days into no soda, fist bump. He's ticking the talk.
This is the longest he's gone without having fizzy drinks. And again, it's just nice, sweet stuff on TikTok.
The one thing I will say is that he refers to his fizzy drink thing as his demon of fizzy drinks. Now, I'm not saying demonic possession is not possible. However, I think something we might consider is, maybe he thinks there's a demon involved because of his belching. Because it sounds inhuman. Drink a fizzy drink and you're like, what? You're like, oh, I got a demon in me.
Get it out. He has been regularly thanking the TikTok community for the support, said he couldn't do it without them. So he'll go through different milestones, and he's added in warm water with lemon and other non-demon fizzy diet drink or fizzy sugar drinks. So
is he getting some demon coffee?
I don't know. It doesn't. I didn't watch all of them.
Okay,
but it was nice.
You didn't?
I didn't want to watch all of them.
You didn't watch all 50 of them while we were waiting?
I did not get through those because he really does start them off every time the same way. "Hello, everyone. No fizzy drinks for me today." And then he gives the day count and says something.
You know what he's doing, Nick? He's taking it one day at a time.
He is. That was his TikTok bio thing. It says if you can quit for a day, you can quit for a lifetime.
One foot in front of the other.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
It wasn't our plan, but I think Nikki and I are probably going to be headed out to Utah this weekend.
Because something's happened there.
Because Nikki has decided to change her lifestyle and she wants to join a family.
No, I don't want to.
She wants to make her own clothes. No.
No.
That's not it?
That's not it. But
then what are we even talking about?
Well, it's tempting because they were saying that Utah is going to open up their buffets. Now that we miss.
That'll bring you back.
We never went to buffets a lot, but just you don't realize when something...
Doesn't mean you don't want to go.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that. And then when it's taken away, then you think about it and you remember it.
It's like going to the movies. Do I like going to the movies? Yes. Had it been a while? Yes. Was it going to be a while? Yes.
Yeah, and now that
but I wanted it to be an option.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So Vegas has their the casinos opened, and in Vegas, I think it's mostly where the food comes to you.
Okay.
So you sit at the table, you have like a 2-hour window.
There's just a parade.
Yeah, and then they just parade around the food and you grab what you want from there. And then it's just like with restaurants where...
that cheesecake boy.
Exactly. You don't get, there's not reusable menus, they're paper ones, and then they just get thrown away. But Utah has outlined some of their rules to buffet too, because that should be coming back. You must wear a mask. That's a given. Plates and utensils must be handed to customers by employees. So, like if you'd go to a buffet and there'd be the stack of plates, you can't just potentially grab and possibly touch the other ones. It has to be handed to you. At the food bar, all food must be served. At the food bar.
Speak my love language, Nikki. Come on.
At the food bar, all food must be served by employees.
Yeah, okay. Oh, great. So that puts you in that awkward position where you're like...
Can you not take so much? What? Is that not what you thought?
No, I was going to say it puts you in the awkward position of being like, how about more?
Yeah.
More!
Well, yeah,
more!
You think that what you want they would see as you taking too much of a serving.
Yeah.
Like you can come back.
Then you have to, then there's the shame of you have to go back.
Yes.
You're like, I want some more of that. They're like, you do now.
There's a catch to that. You can serve yourself as long as you use hand sanitizer before every visit, and the utensils have to be replaced every 30 minutes. So like the serving spoons.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So that's some of the rules, and they said hopefully that should return.
You know what, Nikki? You and I should go practice before we go to Utah. Let's hit up Golden Corral.
Yeah, they've opened back up again.
Is open.
They have their own set of rules, too. Someone who manages what's called the King Buffet in Salt Lake City.
Yes, bring him before me.
They have 3 locations. They said they lost 70% of their business since the pandemic started, which has costed them about $300,000. Wow.
It's tough out there, guys. You know what? Business owners, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry you're having such a hard time, which is why Nikki and I are coming back to the buffet.
We're coming. We don't mind. We'll hand sanitize. You can hand us whatever. We'll come back.
Man, the government gives me another one of them checks. I'm taking it to the buffet.
Are we going?
You know what? We should, really.
Mm-hmm.
All jokes aside, we want to. That's a part of the economy that I do want to stimulate.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Hi, friends. Want to say hi to Matt. Nikki, he just texted us. What did we do earlier this week?
We did an after show, which you can watch at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, where we tried the new Lay's potato chip flavors.
And have you taken a look at Matt's text?
What did he send us?
Because he found something we were looking for.
We were missing all but one, and I could not find this last one. And I couldn't tell if it was regional or something, because they don't even show them on the back of our bags of our chips. It shows these 4 flavors. But then if you go to the website, there was this 5th flavor.
Okay, did you see what he said?
What did he say?
He says that he's texting from the Central Coast, that he's a rep for Frito-Lay.
Yes.
And that you can only find them at 7-Eleven.
Oh, my gosh. Matt, thank you. Because I felt so bad that I could not, it was Eric, actually. He gets all the credit. He was the one going to look for these things.
I felt so bad that my servant could not find what I was looking for.
I felt bad for him because I kept wanting him to keep trying other locations. We can find this thing.
I know we can do it.
You could totally do it. But the fact that it's only at 7-Eleven, I didn't know that part. So, thank you, Matt, for texting. I appreciate it.
And dude, you know what? I actually, it's probably the near 7-Eleven from the studio is probably about 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
Do you know that I was down where that 7-Eleven was?
Aww.
Man.
You could have gone to them.
I could. I didn't go. Instead, I went to a local donut place. I've had a lot of donuts this week.
You did the other week, too. Is this a problem now? Do you have, instead of fizzy drinks, is it donuts?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie and cover the truth. I'm in the middle of what I'm going to call a difficult season.
Sure.
And
a rebuilding season?
Or a rebuilding year. And
donuts are helpful.
I might be I am just now realizing that I've been leaning in a little bit. So you know what? Great. I'm glad to know that. That gives me an opportunity now to
realize and recognize
I'm not
what's
even kidding.
going
It's
on.
Real. Yeah, but I could have gone to that 7-Eleven.
You could have. We could have tried them. Oh, well, the time has passed. We moved on from those.
The saddest thing about the 7-Eleven is they don't do double gulps anymore. You have to get 2 big gulps.
Is that just a big cup?
The double gulp was the 64 ounce, that was great. Like, great job, 7-Eleven. Now,
some people then said it was too much.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that guy with his stupid Super Size Me movie, I think he ruined things for a lot of people. That's what I think.
You think?
We're off topic. So thank you again, Matt, for texting us. Listen, if you guys ever see something and you're like, man, the Riot needs to know about this.
Send a pic. Just text it to us.
Please do. Want to know about it. And I appreciate that insider info. A Frito-Lay rep.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
I'll tell you something that the rest of us, like all of us, I think could use, is another version of Monopoly in our closet we don't play.
Oh, yeah. We went through maybe 1 or 2 years where we bought a lot of the
collector's
theme ones.
Monopolies.
Yeah, but I got off that wagon. It's fine.
Yeah, they just announced a Pac-Man edition.
Does that sound tempting? Or
you know what it does? Weirdly enough, it does to me. But you know what? I don't know that I would say I like Pac-Man. You know what I really like? Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Miss Pac-Man is amazing, Nikki. Like one of my absolute favorites.
Why you marry her?
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Miss Pac-Man was, actually, you know what? Better than Miss Pac-Man was Super Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Super Miss Pac-Man?
Not that I would have known.
That's the one that goes really fast.
Yeah.
And that actually, truth be told, once you play Super Miss Pac-Man, I feel like there's no going back. But that's a discussion for another time.
So it says that in a celebration with Pac-Man's
Nikki, a celebration is when people come together.
I was trying to read ahead. Just stop it.
And they're excited about something that's happened, and they want to.
Is that it?
Yeah. Sound it out. You're doing great.
Now I don't want to anymore. You tell them about it then.
I don't want to.
Well, so fine, I will. Pac-Man's 40th anniversary. So that's why they're doing this in honor of that. So you get the Monopoly Arcade Pac-Man game.
40th anniversary.
It is, yeah. So you can play Pac-Man on the retro banking and arcade unit that I think comes with it or something. So you get like a little tiny arcade version of the game, and then you get the board game.
I think it runs, that little arcade thing they've got is also the bank. And so you've got a little cartridge you put in there, and it controls like what you...
So every time a player passes go, you have to play a mini game, or you get to play a mini game of Pac-Man. So then you get
points. And that
points
determines how much money... Oh,
yeah.
That's a great idea.
So the points are racked up then while everything is tracked on the banking and arcade unit is what they're calling it. So there's no money in this Monopoly version.
That's interesting.
The player with the most
points
wins.
That's kind of cool.
It'll be at Walmart, Target, and Amazon starting tomorrow.
The other thing, I will say, the thing I'm surprised that I haven't bought is they have a Godzilla Monopoly.
Oh, why don't you have that?
Doesn't that seem like a no-brainer that I would have purchased that?
It seems like that'd be fun.
I know. But you know what? What you just said is the reason I don't have it. Because it's like, bro, you don't need...
You're not playing it at home. You're not playing Monopoly.
I should have bought it. Now look at it.
We're not having parties and friends now with people coming over to play board games.
Oh, I don't have either of those things.
But that was popular for a moment, and now we can't. So
no. You know why, Nikki? Because I'm responsible.
Yeah, you're not having parties.
The governor asked me to be, so I am.
So you're not playing Monopoly?
Nope, not having any parties, so not buying any board games.
That's a no.
Yeah, dude, we should do that.
But I like wasn't as interested until you start reading more about the the bank
It's
and
an
the game
interesting
unit.
hook.
That's a
Like-
good idea with it.
Yeah, they've got an interesting hook there.
This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
See, when somebody asks me if I want an Impossible Burger, I just assume it's because the burger weighs 8 pounds.
It's like it's too big.
You're like,
that's
"Oh."
impossible.
Impossible, but I'll try.
You mean a meat alternative.
Yeah, it's not as fun when you put it that way, is it?
Impossible, that was the one Burger King uses? Is that it? Or
Yes,
I mean,
because they had the
other
Impossible
places.
Whopper,
That's
which
it.
also was something that I was like, it's got to be huge. And it's not. It's not that at all, actually. Nikki, the Impossible Burger is coming to Walmart.
To Walmart or Trader Joe's, too? Did I see
Walmart.
that Trader Joe's is also picking it up?
I'm not going to lie. I didn't.
I'll look that one up.
Oh, yep. Nope. You're right. It's going to be at Trader Joe's as well. I'll just tell you, I didn't focus on that part.
You didn't?
Because
I only saw it as certain articles where they only put, it just shows you the way different websites are. The really organic website that I like to look at for health and food news only mentions Trader Joe's and did not bring up Walmart at all.
Really?
Isn't that funny? Because to me, I didn't even see that part.
Here's what
it's
I love.
just Trader Joe's.
If you scroll down to the bottom, it'll say and Trader Joe's.
Yeah, so it shows you different websites that you go to have different spins about them.
It's true. So, there we go. Now we know that it's both Walmart and Trader Joe's. You'll be able to snag the Impossible Burger. This is a meat look-alike that is made completely from plants that everybody says is pretty good. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? Being able to take it home and cook it myself, I think I'd be willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, to do your own thing with it.
Just to see what it's like. Yeah.
It's hard, though, because I think Costco has Beyond Meat. So, there's Impossible, and then there's Beyond Meat. And then there's a few other companies. It's hard to keep them all straight.
I will say this does continue to feel more and more like the thing that causes the zombie apocalypse.
Why?
Like things like
it's not going to be from
lab-grown meat.
It's not going to be from this, no.
What if we find out, you know how people are like, COVID-19 comes from 5G, and it'll be like, no, it comes from meat alternatives.
See, I don't think it's the plant-based meat alternatives. It's the one where it's lab-grown, and
that's the one we should be afraid of.
It's the one where it is still beef, but it's not. It's made from one. It's
cloned beef.
Yeah, it's cloned. That's it. That's the word. That's the stuff I'm a little
okay. That's fair.
Skeptical about.
Well, if you want to experience El Burger de Impossible,
where you going? Do you go to Walmart or Trader Joe's? Because it'll be both.
Well, I'll just tell you, the last time I was at Trader Joe's, I had a not great experience.
Oh, was someone mean?
Of course, then again, the other side of it is I've had some times I've gone to Trader Joe's and people have gone so far above and beyond that.
Was it impossible?
It was impossible.
With how they were treating you?
I just feel like it's like everything else. When I go into Trader Joe's, they're just like, he's not one of us.
Oh, that they can tell your style's a little off.
What am I like?
But it's not. That's you feeling that, and there's no reason why you should.
And you Nikki, you got to take responsibility for your feelings and realize other people can't make you feel anything. You choose to feel it.
You're putting your worries and concerns that you're having onto someone else like they're actually, and they're not.
I know you love movies, but stop projecting.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
Man, is anybody else just lazy? I'm lazy. I just don't want to. Is that bad?
It's not lazy. You just, why do you have to?
But isn't that what laziness is? Wait.
I feel like laziness is if there's something you're supposed to do, but you purposefully choose not to. But if there's just things to do, but you don't necessarily have to do them that you're not really connected to, that's not lazy if you don't want to.
So it's okay to not want to, you just have to.
If it's something that you need to do.
So I need to do something, but if I don't,
if you don't do your laundry and you just let it pile up, that's lazy. But if you're like, here are 10 shows on Netflix that I don't watch, and you're just choosing not to, that's not lazy, just because you don't get into them.
Well, Nikki, they both sound like a chore.
But one you have to do. You have to have clothes.
Says who?
Says everybody.
You know what? I could sit around naked watching those shows on Netflix.
No, you can't.
And I could say I prioritized.
The wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking. I've got to replace my brakes this weekend, and I could hire someone to do that for approximately 10 times the price of the brakes.
Which is why you're going to do it.
I know.
Well, then that's good. That's you being not lazy.
I don't want to.
Well, you're still... I mean, you want the brakes fixed?
Yeah?
So then you're going to have to do it or pay for it.
But I don't want to.
Then pay for it.
No, I
can't. Then do it.
No.
We're going in circles here.
I know.
So you have one or the other.
I know.
Or there's a third option, actually.
We'll just go buy a new car?
No, your car doesn't work. You just don't use your car.
Let's just go buy a new car.
Well, that is something.
They don't come with brakes.
Oh, my gosh. How dramatic and drastic are you if that's the way you go? You're like, I'm not paying for it, and I'm not fixing it myself. I'm getting a new one.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story.
Yeah.
I didn't make this up. I helped someone move one time.
Yeah.
And I showed up on moving day and they hadn't packed. And I mean like, no. Like it would be like me walking to your house right now and start moving you. So I was like, well, I'll go to the basement. Surely there are boxes down there.
Yeah.
And I found tubs. You know what was in the tubs?
What was in the tubs?
You ready?
What is it?
Dirty underwear.
No.
Do you know why?
No. Don't tell me. Do not tell me someone was like that because they don't wash their clothes.
They just kept buying new ones.
Oh, my gosh. I'd throw something over there, but I don't want to. You're kidding.
So tell me again about this
What's wrong with this person?
About this whole chores thing. Could you tell me? What did I do?
Did you leave?
I put the lid back on.
You found their like hidden shame.
I didn't. I'll tell you, it was one of those moments where I was like, I don't understand.
That's lazy. That right there, that whole thing, even not packing, is lazy. That whole thing was.
Okay.
Oh, gross.
All right.
I know I tease you guys about like, oh, just buy new stuff instead, but I didn't think anybody actually
jokes
did
aside,
that.
people.
I thought you were still doing your laundry.
Please.
Please. You don't just keep buying underwear and socks. You eventually have to do your laundry. You don't put it in a tub in the basement and think it just goes away.
What if I'll just keep putting...
Put your car, the brakes.
You know, as my dad has said, and I'm not going to say who, but we also know this. I know someone that their brakes were making a lot of noise and they just turned the radio up.
No!
So they couldn't hear it.
I love people.
I will tell
so
you
much.
that person is connected to this organization.
Oh, yeah, we know this person.
Yeah.
That just leads to a bigger problem down the road. So you have to fix this one ahead of time.
I know.
You need to do that this weekend.
I will. Okay? I will.
How about this? You grab yourself a donut. You get yourself like a couple, right? Set the box next to the car.
And I'll still have money. I'll still have saved money.
Yeah, and you do the thing, and then that's your reward for when you're done.
All right.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So we were discussing an experience that I had in which I went to help some people move, and they hadn't packed. And Eric said, I had the same thing happen to me. They were fine with it. They expected us to pack them up, which is what I ended up doing. Like, I helped them, like...
Load boxes?
No, like, I didn't pack, but it was stuff like, I'll carry this drawer up there.
Oh. You're supposed to be a little bit better prepared.
My take on packing is moving is as follows. I am unskilled labor. I can't help you pack. I am arms and legs and a back.
And you'll lift and move.
And I'll lift and move, but like that's about as far as we're going to go here. And that doesn't make me a bad person. It makes me very helpful. That's what it makes me. Yeah. Now, all this being said, in case you missed it, I found a big tub full of dirty underwear because this person had just started buying underwear instead of
washing
doing laundry.
their clothes and stuff.
Dane says us the following. I'm a garbage man. I'll tell you it's more common than you know.
Oh, just to find underwear?
What are we just throwing away big bags of underwear?
Apparently, people don't think.
Is that why there's a huge industry for this? Like,
well, that's why, like, especially for guys, like, it just comes in bags. Bags in and then bags out. You throw them in, put them in bags and throw them out.
All right. Okay. You know what? I hate to do this to you.
What?
But this was not a man's underwear.
No, it wasn't. Oh, those are so expensive then. What are we doing?
See how dismissive you were of a whole gender?
I thought it was totally a guy. It wasn't a guy, or was it like a guy and a girl?
It was a married couple, but it was the girl. No. All of the underwear belonged to.
Whoa. She was the lazy one? Wow.
I didn't say that. You said that.
I'll say that.
Didn't say that.
I'll say that. I'm fine saying it. Whoa.
I'm just telling you, I experienced that.
That's something. Shivers.
See
all
how
shivers now.
You just immediately went to the man.
I did.
You
I
immediately
absolutely
went there.
did. I absolutely
Nikki, I am
did.
so tired of your gender bias.
Hey, no, that just meant you didn't find the other tub, all right? There's more tubs there, okay? Because I think everybody there wasn't doing it.
That's possible.
Because sometimes, like, if you're in a couple, like, one will do one thing really well and the other won't. So you kind of, like, balance yourself out. So, like, maybe the one person will do the laundry and the other person will do the cleaning or something. And it's a partnership.
Sure.
Feels like someone was missing out on the laundry in that situation.
Yeah. The others, okay, can we just pause for a minute and explore an idea? What if that's actually great? Think about it.
Never doing laundry?
They never did laundry. That sounds great.
But it's so wasteful. You don't think so? I mean, how can one afford to do that?
Well, I can't. But I work for a nonprofit.
I know. So depending on your job, like you'd have to have in your budget if you made one, which is a very responsible thing to do. Your clothing thing, you'd actually have a large clothing budget.
Honestly, though, no. Like at some point, wouldn't it become just as cost effective to hire someone to do your laundry?
Yeah, that is a good idea.
As it would be to do, like that seems
embarrassing, but good. Yeah,
not necessarily.
Be fine.
I mean, there's a whole industry based around it. So,
true.
You're creating jobs.
Yeah, that's good.
You're creating
jobs.
jobs.
This is weird.
Okay, all right.
It's weird.
All right.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's the Riot on RadioU.
Go ahead. Spend a little time texting with us, talking, and this person who we don't know. We've been talking about finding, not doing your laundry and just buying new clothes, and then me moving someone. How we even got on this, I don't even remember. Finding a big box of a tub of their underwear in the basement used because they were just buying new underwear.
Yeah.
And this person says, my question is, if they're buying new underwear, why aren't they throwing away the old instead of keeping them in bins in the basement?
Now, I know we want to open up and dissect that, but let's just close the lid back on that.
So we're just going to let it go.
That's going to be messy.
Yeah.
Don't want to know.
Let's just go ahead and stop now. You know what, Nikki, how about this? Here's a little something for you. You're a fan of John Wick, as I understand it.
I am.
Well, the person...
Is there a fan base name for that?
The Wickians?
Yeah, something like that.
They're the sweat wickers. The Wickers. I like that.
I think we could come up with something better. I don't think that's it.
Oh, I see how it is.
Keep going.
Everything I come up with is dumb, but yours are the best.
No, I don't want mine.
Go ahead. What do you have?
What are we arguing about? What are we doing here?
I'm just looking for something to be mean about.
It seems like you are looking for a fight.
And you know what? It's working.
I don't even know if there's already a fan base name, but yes, I do love John Wick. I love the movies.
I'm sure they're out there. But
and I love the character.
The writer of John Wick is starting a new series. He is writing Splinter Cell, the animated series for Netflix.
So is Splinter Cell a game?
It was. And I mean, they'll probably
a comic
make
book
more,
or anything, or just a game?
No, it was just a game. It was Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, and it's about, I don't remember the
a cell of people.
No,
that splinter off.
It's about a guy, Sam Fisher. That's his name, who was like stealth missions his way through the world.
So it first was released in 2002, a Navy SEAL, after he was recruited by the NSA to work for the 3rd Echelon Division within the agency.
Yeah.
So he'd go on missions.
3rd Echelon.
So now they're going to make an animated series for Netflix.
Yeah.
And the guy who did John Wick for writing is doing that.
I played, I think, 2 of the Splinter Cell games, Splinter Cell Extraction and something else. I don't know. I played a couple of them and had a really good time. Not the originals. The originals, I went back. They did some kind of collection. And every once in a while, I'll be like, I'll learn something. I'll play the old game. No. No, too hard. But, Nikki, this could be the thing. Sam Fisher's dog dies and is sent on a mission to find the Russians that killed his dog.
You're like, this seems familiar, doesn't it? I could be interested, but I don't watch a lot of anime stuff, so I don't know if that would keep me from it.
What if there was a dog that died?
Well,
And there was
spoiler then.
What if there was a violent but obviously deep-feeling man who lost his dog and had to set things right?
Yeah, and you're rooting for him to set it right.
What if it was that?
I don't know.
What if hundreds of people had to die because of the dog?
Because of the dog, and it was worth it. Because that's how that movie was.
Don't do the math.
And don't bring up how they died, all right?
Don't think it through.
Okay. Is it a bit extreme? Fine. The dog was just the tipping off to all the other problems.
Sure.
Maybe this could be a possibility.
Okay.
You're listening to the worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Thanks, Nikki, for being excited to hear about what I was watching.
I can't wait. What did you watch on Netflix?
The look of just sheer excitement that she's giving me. It's just
hey, I am actually very excited as long as it's not Mystery Science Theater, because you tend to watch that a lot, which we are familiar with.
Oh, okay. So a lot. Could you define that, please?
Well, it seems to be what you like. It's your go-to, isn't it?
Yeah,
you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it. I watched the first episode of the new Transformers cartoon on Netflix last night.
It came out yesterday.
Yeah, it is a more... It's rated like Y7, so it's appropriate for people 7 and older. But it
That's
is
youth.
It is a much more kind of mature take on the Transformers thing, and it was good.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Oh, I didn't think you would.
I didn't think I would either. I'll tell you this, that the voices as shown in the trailer are way better in the actual show.
Well, because the one guy, is it Optimus?
It's like Frank.
He's such a sad-sounding one, but again, the trailer might have just portrayed it that way, but when you're watching it within the show, it works.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I at first I was like, oh, it's only 6 episodes, but now I'm like, oh, it's probably good. 6 episodes is probably a good run.
You don't need any more than that.
Might not need more than that, Nikki. That might be enough.
Are you going to watch the rest then?
I am.
Yeah.
I think I'll take it an episode at a time. One day at a time, one foot in front of the other, one Transformers episode,
one bot
at a time. So I don't want to, but if you figure if the episodes are 23 minutes, which they are, and there are 6 of them, it's basically a 2-hour movie.
Oh, yeah, you can do that this weekend.
You skip the credits and the intro.
You're fine.
It's not really that long.
You're not supposed to notice that.
Yeah. Well, it's what I'm here for.
I'm going to watch Sugar Rush today.
Sugar Rush is...
for
those of us that don't know.
Another Netflix show. It's like a cooking competition, but with dessert items.
So,
yeah.
Are you going to pick up some dessert to eat while you watch Sugar Rush?
I just think we'll watch the new season this weekend. That's the plan. Just guzzle it all down.
Yeah, just kind of like what? Do you spoon the sugar in, or do you just, open the bag up and just...
Well, whatever it takes to get it done, just to watch it. So I'm excited about that.
The other thing that's new this weekend is that Umbrella Academy Season 2. I don't know if I'm ready for that or not. It feels like a commitment.
I feel like you need more time to get into that one. Yeah, compared to the Transformers one.
Yeah. 23 minutes. I can spare it.
That's
feels
easy.
a little long, but I can spare it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because, when we talked about it yesterday, you weren't too sure.
Nikki, what if we have a watch party and we go back and forth? We'll watch an episode of Transformers and then an episode of Sugar Rush, an episode of Transformers, and an episode of Sugar Rush.
By the end of the weekend, we're going to be very confused. You're like, I want to make a robot cake.
I'm telling you,
we only have a certain amount of time to make it.
I don't think Optimus is going to be able to get this done in time.
I know. I'm just not sure. We'll be confusing the two shows.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
From hot to not, that's just called life.